You may or may not have heard this before, but it honestly kind of keeps people up at night, and it sucks to be the one to say this, but it's time the truth got out. We're living in an age of non-stop information overload. The more people read, hear, and see, the less their brains actually absorb or hold on to. Don't you ever wish there was a way to clear the chaos and just get the real stuff? Well, that's what we do at Top 5, and it's our sole purpose. From the bizarre to the incredible and the downright unreal, here are the 15 life-changing facts you won't believe are true. Number 15. You've been eating bug poop. Really hate to be the one to tell you this, but here's the truth. You've been eating insect droppings and probably loving every bite. Shellac is an ingredient found in all kinds of candies and sweet-coated treats. Most people recognize it as confectioner's glaze, that glossy finish you see on jelly beans, candy corn, and other shiny sweets. The term sounds harmless enough, but shellac is actually a resin secreted by the female Cariolaca insect. That's right. What you're eating is processed bug poop. It's also used in wood polish and varnish, but somewhere along the line, someone thought it'd work great on food, and now it's in countless candies around the world. So that polished, glassy coating on your favorite colorful treat, courtesy of some hard-working bugs in Southeast Asia. We know, those jelly beans probably don't taste the same anymore. But hey, at least now you know what's really behind that sweet, shiny finish. Number 14. Mordor is a real place. Mordor is in fact real. It exists, but in a much different spot than Tolkien imagined. In The Lord of the Rings, Mordor is the domain of Sauron, the infamous villain, lurking in shadows and fire. J.R.R. Tolkien created a fully fictional world, but strangely enough, Mordor's name now appears in our very real solar system. According to USA Today, there's a grim and eerie region on Charon, the largest moon of Pluto, that strongly resembles a dried, reddish blood stain. The mysterious mark stands out against the icy terrain and looks like something pulled from a nightmare. Fittingly, scientists named this unsettling region Mordor Macula, inspired directly by Tolkien's fantasy, not the other way around. It's a chilling coincidence that something so visually similar to his imagined wasteland now exists as a real feature on a distant celestial body. While it doesn't hold Mount Doom or armies of orcs, this version of Mordor is just as unnerving. Number 13. The moon is moving away from us. Well now, here's something strange about our moon. Everyone knows it orbits Earth. But what most people don't realize is that it's slowly drifting farther away. Due to complex gravitational dynamics, the distance between Earth and the Moon increases by about 1.48 inches every single year, which is, oddly enough, the same rate your fingernails grow. This means the Moon used to be much closer than it is today. In fact, scientists believe that when it first formed, it was just 14,000 miles away. These days, it's sitting about 250,000 miles from Earth. That's a dramatic shift over time. Researchers track this movement through laser reflectors left on the moon's surface by Apollo missions, and measurements show this distance change is consistent. It might not sound like a big deal, but over millions of years, this slow separation could eventually throw Earth's tides, days, and rotation off balance. Silent, steady, and still happening. Number 12. A sneeze at 60 miles blinds you for almost 50 feet. You may or may not have heard this before, but honestly, it messes with your head once you think about it. When you sneeze, your eyes instinctively close for a fraction of a second. But if you're driving at 60 miles per hour when that happens, your eyes remain shut for the length of nearly 50 feet. According to a 2014 report, thousands of accidents occur in England each week due to drivers losing vision from sneezing behind the wheel, around 2,500 crashes every single week. Think about that. And now imagine how those numbers might look in the US, where roads are longer, vehicles are more common, and traffic volume is way higher. A previous study estimated that over 2 million drivers in America have had accidents caused by sneezing. That suggests nearly 7% of drivers have crashed simply because of a sneeze. It's terrifying to realize how something so routine can become that dangerous and deadly. Number 11. The moon has moonquakes. When humans visited the moon, we didn't just leave behind flags and dusty footprints. We also left behind bags of human waste. But let's stay focused. During the Apollo missions, astronauts placed seismometers on the moon's surface to monitor vibrations and heat flow. These instruments quickly confirmed that the moon, just like Earth, has its own form of earthquakes, which are called moonquakes. Scientists later identified 4 types: deep, shallow, thermal, and ones caused by meteorite impacts. But that's not the strangest part. In a more recent study of Apollo 17's seismic data, researchers discovered a 5th kind of moonquake, originating from the Apollo 17 lunar lander itself. Yes, our own machinery was sending out tremors. These weren't caused by the moon at all, but they helped deepen our understanding of its seismic behavior. That kind of detail matters, especially as we look toward returning to the moon for future missions. Even out there, the ground still shakes, and sometimes we're the reason. Number 10. Some people are mind blind. Are you someone who can remember details easily, but can't actually see them in your head? Most people can mentally picture a loved one's face or recall the image of their favorite meal, but others draw a blank when they try. This unusual condition is called aphantasia. It's defined as the inability to form mental images when thinking of something that's no longer in front of you. People with aphantasia cannot visualize how a book character looks, nor can they picture a setting described in a story. Even when thinking about someone who's passed away, their mind shows nothing. The condition doesn't affect intelligence or memory. It just makes visual recall impossible. Researchers are still studying how this works and what it reveals about memory and imagination. It's not widely talked about, but those who live with it often don't realize anything's different until someone else says they can see things in their head, and they can't. Number 9. Dogs evolved to manipulate human emotions. That sad puppy face your dog gives you, it's not an accident, it's evolution. Scientists found that domesticated dogs have developed small facial muscles around their eyes that wolves don't have. These muscles allow dogs to lift their eyebrows, creating expressions that trigger emotional responses in humans. According to a 2019 study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, dogs evolved this feature after becoming close companions to humans. Basically, they learn to look sad or pleading to get what they want. And it works, because that look melts people instantly. It's believed this trait helped dogs get food, attention, and even protection throughout history. So the next time your dog gives you those eyes, know it's more than just charm. It's thousands of years of survival strategy. And if you're wondering why we often pick our pets over people, maybe this is why. Dogs learned how to read us. Number 8. 14 people hold the keys to the internet. There's an actual group of people with physical keys that protect a vital part of the internet. It's 100% real, and it's called the key ceremony. This event brings together 14 trusted individuals, 7 primary and 7 backups, who each hold part of the cryptographic key needed to access the domain name system, or DNS, which is basically the phone book of the internet. These keys aren't metaphorical. They're real, physical, and kept under strict security. Every 3 months, these individuals meet at a secure location in the US to perform a highly controlled ritual that involves unlocking hardware, verifying credentials, and updating core systems to protect against cyber threats. The master key they help maintain ensures that when you type a website address, it actually connects to the correct destination. Without these people and their literal keys, the internet could collapse into chaos. And definitely No one wants that. Number 7. Snails have thousands of teeth. Snails might look like harmless little blobs with shells and slime trails. But get this, they've got thousands of teeth. And no, that's not an exaggeration or some AI-generated story. Some snail species have a jaw structure called a radula, a ribbon-like tongue lined with microscopic teeth. According to the Natural History Museum, snails use their radula to scrape, tear, and grind food into pieces small enough to eat. These teeth aren't like ours, but they're sharp and effective. It's one of the weirdest mouth mechanisms in the animal world. And suddenly, that slow-moving garden buddy doesn't feel so innocent. The next time you see one munching on a leaf, just remember, it's not just nibbling. It's using a tiny, terrifying conveyor belt of destruction. Honestly, after learning that, we're not sure we'll be able to pick one up again without flinching. We mean, how can you pick something with not hundreds but thousands of creepy teeth? Number 6. You lose 30% of your taste while flying. That awful and unwanted airplane food? Yeah, it might not be the food's fault. When flying, your ability to taste drops significantly, around 30%, according to a 2010 study by Germany's Fraunhofer Institute for Building Physics. At high altitudes, the cabin air is dry and the pressure is low. That combination dulls your sensitivity to both sweet and salty flavors. And it doesn't stop there. Your sense of smell also takes a hit in those dry conditions, which further numbs your taste experience. That's why even decent food feels bland when served mid-flight. It's not just airline meals, it's your body reacting to the altitude. No wonder tomato juice suddenly becomes a go-to order up there. Its strong umami flavor actually manages to push through your weakened senses. So the next time you're grimacing at a rubbery in-flight pasta dish, don't blame the chef too quickly. It might just be your taste buds taking the day off. Number 5. Your feet can taste garlic. If you absolutely can't stand garlic, then avoid stepping on it. Seriously. Scientists recently discovered that garlic's distinct flavor can make its way to your mouth, through your feet. No, you don't actually have taste buds down there. But if you place raw garlic beneath your feet, the compound responsible for its strong aroma, allicin, can pass through your skin. Once inside, it travels through your bloodstream and ends up in your nose and mouth, where the flavor becomes noticeable. It's a wild trick of chemistry that shows how powerful and fast certain molecules move within our bodies. Even though it's not a traditional tasting, your senses still react. Allicin is also what gives garlic its pungent smell and many of its medicinal properties. But apparently, it doesn't care how it enters your system. So the next time garlic's on the menu, maybe don't walk barefoot around it. You might end up tasting it whether you eat it or not. Number 4. You could be one with no inner monologue. That voice in your head, well, the one that narrates thoughts, feelings, and decisions. Yeah, not everyone has that. And weirdly, a lot of people didn't even realize this until 2020, when the topic blew up online. People with an inner monologue were shocked to learn that others don't hear anything at all in their minds. Meanwhile, those without one were equally surprised to learn others hear full conversations internally. For them, the mind is silent, most of the time. They still think, process information, and feel emotions, but there's no voice tagging along. When asked if they ever get a song stuck in their heads, one person without a monologue said, "Yeah, that's probably the closest it gets." Even though they don't hear their own thoughts, they still read in their heads, just without audible narration. Number 3. Our bodies literally glow. For years, women have been complimented on their pregnancy glow, and to be fair, the hormonal changes do brighten skin. But here's something cooler. Everyone's body glows. A few years ago, scientists in Japan captured this phenomenon using an ultra-sensitive camera that revealed the human body emits a faint visible light. It's incredibly subtle, about 1,000 times weaker than what our eyes can detect unaided. But it's real. The glow fluctuates throughout the day depending on metabolic activity. In their study, researchers found that the body emits the least light around 10 a.m. and the most around 4 p.m. It's not some supernatural aura. It's caused by chemical reactions inside our cells. As the body metabolizes and produces energy, small amounts of light are released as a byproduct. That means all of us glow, just not in a way most people can see. Number 2. The Pledge of Allegiance began as a PR stunt. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Sound familiar? It should. It's been recited by generations of school kids. But it might surprise you to know that the Pledge of Allegiance didn't begin as a patriotic tradition. It started in 1892 as a marketing idea, written by Francis Bellamy as part of a promotional campaign to boost sales for Youth's Companion, a weekly children's magazine. That's right, the pledge was originally made to sell subscriptions. Bellamy's version was slightly different than what we know today, but the core of it remains. The most notable update came in 1954, during the Cold War, when the phrase "under God" was added by Congress. Over the years, the pledge has been at the center of debates about religion, freedom of speech, and classroom routines, but its roots are completely commercial. Number 1. Ladybugs are vicious cannibals. Hate to break it to you, but every coloring book, childhood story, and Disney film has been lying. Ladybugs are not gentle, lucky bugs we make wishes on. They're brutal cannibals. An adult ladybug will eat around 50 aphids, those little sap-sucking pests gardeners hate, every single day. That alone makes them look like garden heroes. But when food becomes scarce, ladybugs don't just starve. They switch to eating their own species. They'll consume their own larvae and even other juvenile ladybugs. The younger ones are soft-shelled and easy to chew, making them easy targets. It's ruthless, but survival doesn't care about cuteness. This behavior is common in nature and helps reduce competition for food. So next time you see a tiny red beetle with black spots, remember, it might look harmless, but it's packing the appetite and instincts of a miniature serial killer. Sweet on the outside, savage on the inside. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.